All right, we are back. How about that?
How about that?
That, by the way, that ASP.NET MVC book I also purchased early 2009. Whoa. Literally, there's 4 people on the cover, and we call it the 4 heads because, like, you just see their foreheads.
The 4 heads?
The 4-head book. Like they're like you. Someone's got to pull up a picture of this so they can, like, on the Twitters. By the way, use hashtag MSBuild. Put it up there so Donna knows.
So we can see it on this board.
Because
someone
she thinks
go do this.
I'm not telling the truth.
I don't believe you.
It's the 4 heads book. It's like literally Scott Hanselman, Phil Hack, Rob Connery, and of course Scott Guthrie. They're just all like, book smiling. It's a different smile when you're in a book smiling.
I know book smiling, but I've never seen this cover. So
well, they're going to tweet at it, and everyone's going to be like, "See, Seth was right that one time." The cosmic universe aligned
so
for that.
Dear MSBuild audience, please find this book cover and tweet it because I don't believe him.
It's true.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Build Live Desk, by the way, here in Redmond, Washington. If you're just joining us, we're a few hours into day 2 of our 48-hour stream.
So we heard 2 key segments just now, and I'm not going to lie, this is my favorite time of the day because we just heard a great key segment by Kevin Scott on the future of stuff.
That's right.
We heard that great Q&A by Scott Guthrie where he talked a lot about Power Platform and mixed reality, just saying. And now, after this, we're going to go to James Phillips where he's going to do a giant deep down on all of the things that the guru, Scott Guthrie, talked about in demo form so all of you can see it, see what he's talking about. But before I get all hung up on this, Seth, what did you think of that Kevin Scott AI writing Python thing? That was crazy.
I loved every minute of it. People don't know, but I actually studied machine learning in school.
You did?
I sure did.
You studied?
I went to school for at least, high school was at least 6 years.
I believe you.
It was glorious. I went to college for like 10.
So you studied though while in school?
I did some stuff while I was in school, but I actually did research in NLP, machine translation.
Wow.
And so anytime we look at AI stuff, I'm like, whoa. Now the thing about AI, and the reason why I liked the keynote from Kevin Scott is because it takes a long time to train these things.
Yes.
Because it's basically like a for loop over data, optimizing some function using calculus. So this is just doing it over and over and over again. And it turns out that the faster you can push all that data through and have the thing optimized, the better your models are. And so a supercomputer like the one they were showing is absolutely glorious. I think it's a great idea. And you can build very sophisticated models with a lot of parameters quickly.
I thought Luis Vargas did a fantastic job on walking through the whole story of how it started, the vision, the idea, and how he works with like 35 teams in the company. I know you work with him quite a bit.
No, well, I wished I did. Now I'm going to go look him up and be like, hey, can we be BFFs?
Yeah, but he works with these 30 groups in the company and does all this amazing modeling, and then all of our AI tools use it. Like Bot Framework uses it, AI Builder uses it, Luis, not same Luis, but Luis Framework uses it. Everyone uses that same kind of central supercomputer model.
Absolutely. And the other thing that was cool, and I'm wondering why it's not around here. I wish we had like a wide shot. You could see how big this room is.
Oh, yeah.
But where is that like robot bringing me pizza?
Okay. So that thing was fascinating.
By the way,
look.
if I may.
Okay. Dear Twitterverse, thank you for being you because you have done what you've asked. Thank you, James Marsh, for finding us.
The 4 heads.
The 4 heads. Oh my God, this cover though.
It's true, right? The 4 heads.
My face right now.
That
my
is what
face
I'm
right
talking
now.
about.
I have nothing. Wow. I'm sorry, Scott Hanselman, but what are you doing right now with that smile?
No, that is many years ago.
I know, but
that is a book smile. Book smiles are different.
Book smile.
You know, there's book smiles are different.
I understand, but
it's called the 4 heads book.
Wow.
Because there are 4 heads.
Yes.
And there's 4 heads.
There's 4 heads. Wow.
It's like the ultimate dad joke for me.
Oh no, we're back to dad jokes.
Yeah, so that's why I was pretty cool. So we've got about 5 more minutes. I want to tell you a little bit more.
Yes.
We got to talk about this dog robot bringing pizza.
Yeah, okay.
Did you see that?
I did.
Basically, they're like, we did some stuff, and I was like, blah, blah, blah. And I know that stuff because I am an AI guy. But all I heard was, bring you pizza.
Right. Suddenly you thought my entire life has been worth it.
I feel like
Yeah.
the years of research I've done in NLP and computer
Yeah.
vision have culminated into
This moment.
finally solving
Your reason for being,
something can bring me pizza.
that's not you. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we can end the show right now. I know we're
Wow.
only 24 hours in, but like
He's
what
like,
what
Bill,
more
call it.
mic drops can we have? And then the other thing, by the way, here it is. If you want to see Steve Clayton.
Oh, here's the dog pizza thing.
Steve
Yeah.
Clayton had the Kevin Scott
Pizza.
dog pizza. I think we just need to look at it with a moment of silence,
Yeah.
at least 30 to 90 seconds. Although that's not good for live, they tell me.
No, so I'm just asking. So let's real talk with the audience. How many of you like this, and how many of you like me are like no?
Are you like no on this?
I'm like no.
How come?
Because I think
They might spill it. I get it.
No,
They might spill
they
the
will.
pizza.
They will probably kill us.
No, they're not like that. They don't.
You don't know them.
I do. I
Look
know
at
how
him
they
as
work.
if he
I know how
hangs
they
out
work.
with them.
Listen.
How do you know?
Listen, look, first of all,
do you have them in your house?
Yes, they
he
will
said
not.
he had a dog. Is this the dog? you have?
It's a real dog, but they
you think
they're-
this is a
they
real
don't
dog?
think they're not. They're like rocks. But humans, we're really weird. We're like, if we draw a smiley face on a rock, we're like, ah, it's happy. No, it's a rock. AI is a rock. It's basically
AI is a
a
rock.
bunch of
Okay.
parameters that have been optimized using
Seth, I believe
calculus.
you, but if the robot pizza eats you, it's your own fault.
The key is
Mm-hmm.
to eat the robot's pizza. Just lay on that.
No one
Paula.
understood that point.
No,
but-
just eat the robot's pizza.
No one understood
That
this.
no, it was funny.
Okay, all right. So that robot pizza thing. Oh, it's doing something else now.
Yeah,
Okay.
she called it during
Yeah.
the thing, and it
Yeah,
was like,
that's right,
hey,
that's
yo.
right. Oh, okay, no.
Like, think of this a dog that
Yeah.
will not shed in the summer.
I don't like this, y'all.
Yeah.
I am not pro. I am not pro. Okay, so speaking of, I thought the Scott Goo Q&A was awesome.
Oh, man, that was cool.
I just love when the audience asks questions. And it was so fun to hear so many of our community members asking questions. I love the question from Magnus. Hi, Magnus. I love the question around, so should you buy or should you build? And I love Scott, the way he said, well, you do both, right? You do both. It's not an or, it's an and. And I love that he said it's an and, because it really is an and. And this concept of do the things that make sense for your company to do, because you are a special person, special snowflake for specific things. But for a lot of very generic things, you don't need to remake the same expense tool.
Yeah, and
Right?
I've been somewhere near Scott Guthrie
Mm-hmm.
looking through conference windows, because I've walked by and he's in a meeting and I'm not in those meetings sometimes. But he is very practical.
Yeah.
Like the thing that was cool to me was not only that he showed up in his jammies for
Yes,
the keynote
with the
yesterday,
slippers.
But number two, it looks like he's like in this posh law library in his house,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and he's like, "No, folks, not folks. It's my
No,
stamp collection."
It's my stamp collection. I like this. But what I really liked about his talk was the fact that he said, use Power Apps, use Power Virtual Agents, use Power BI to do all the stuff that's generic and that everyone has to do, and have the people who have the business problem solve their own problem. And when you need to expand it to 100,000 people, use Azure to scale.
There you go.
I
Now,
loved it.
A couple of reminders
Yes.
as we're heading out because we're
That's
running
right.
out of time.
We're running out of time.
Register at mybuild.microsoft.com to
Yes.
get the full digital experience.
Yes. All right. And now to the most powerful key segment of the day. You heard that? I made a Seth joke. Okay,
Yeah,
Seth joke. So the most powerful key segment of the day, it's time for James Phillips to do a deep dive on Power Platform. He's got a jam-packed session of demos. So it's mixed reality, virtual agents, all the things in 1 hour. So if you want to know what this Power Platform thing that I won't shut up about and Seth really wants to talk about more,
I do secretly.
stay tuned for that.
That is right. It is coming in just about a couple of seconds. Pause
Pause.
or effect.
Okay, also think about
2.
robot dog or no robot
1.
dog. Go.